Hey everyone, welcome to The Flip Side with your hosts Chris and Sean.
We're a podcast rambling about the interesting questions in the world of movement.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Flip Side. We are going to be talking about today of our 5 favorite skills. Whether we've done them or not, it's just kind of skills that we really enjoy to either watch or do because, you know, they're usually the really cool skills. Sometimes they're basics, but hey, who knows?
Yeah, we'll see which skills are the best. Go ahead and comment too which ones your favorites are. But we'll start off right away. And these can be, I think, Sean, are you going to pick tricking skills or are you going to pick gymnastic skills today?
I think I'm going to pick a little bit of a mix because there are some tricking skills that I really like to watch, but they're probably mostly going to be gymnastics.
Okay, sweet. I think that'll be good to mix it up that way. All right, well, we'll start with your number 1. What is your number? Well, we'll start from the bottom. What's your number 5?
Yeah,
number 5 skill.
My number 5 skill to watch, and I think it's going to be a gymnastic skill, is going to be a triple double. Whether it's on the women's side, which it's considered the Biles 2, or on the men's side, where, if I remember correctly, it's called the Shear Eye, because he can do it laid out. So it's like really nuts to watch, because you're just like, oh my god, how is he doing that? It's crazy. 3 twists with 2 flips on a spring floor.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And like my favorite part in those is like when the lead up to it is like so perfect and fluid and strong. I love that so much to see them just like effortlessly glide through their setup and then they hit really perfectly and it's just so cool to see them be so confident and know exactly what they're doing.
I know, because it just really makes it look like they fly and they're just gravity has no hold on them. It's nuts.
It's really, really crazy. Yeah, the execution and just the confidence and the tightness and is really dope. Especially when they stick it, you're like, what did it happen?
Yeah, I know. You're just like, how did you just do all of that and just land perfectly? Like, I don't get it.
It's really sick.
So what is your 5th favorite skill?
My number 5 is probably going to be Shuriken Cutter. It's lower on the list just because everyone likes it and it's not that difficult, but I really like it because it can be used as a combo ender. I think it's cooler than box cutter, and you know, it's just like it's what tricking is really to me, because you know, you've got the cork, you've got like the not the true inversion, you've got a double helicopter kick, and you come out in a hook, like a hyper hook stance, which is just like different than all, you know, any acrobatic sports. And then you can also do, you know, front swing with it. The idea of going into mega from it is really there. Yeah, you can just and you know, it's a really cool skill because you can also add on now because people have done shuriken. So I like the you know, all the different things you can do with it. It's really great. You can start a combo, you can put it in the middle, you can put it at the end, you can use it as a transition skill. You know, it's very versatile. So I really like it and it's super pretty.
I agree. I really love watching that, especially during tricking. It is such a cool little skill to be able to do.
And I like the idea of being able to go to Shuriken with it, but I like Shuriken Cutter more because it's generally executed better. Like most shurikens don't look that good, except some of the ones that Zen and Shosei do. Like not all of them, but some of them when they really whip it around are really crazy. It bothers me if it lands short or it doesn't have the same helicopter effect that the Shuriken Cutter does. But if it does have that, then that would take the win, look wise.
Oh yeah, because I mean shurikens just they're sexy. I love shurikens. Speaking about shuriken, my number 4 skill, shuriken.
Oh,
because I just love watching it. I was like, oh, he's saying Shuriken Cutter. I was like, ooh, yeah, shuriken though. Because, like, oh my god, like Andrew Court in his recent video where he just did shuriken into...
No, that's hurricane kick.
Oh, that's hurricane kick. My bad.
Yeah. So Shuriken Cutter so the hurricane kick is the triple kick, the triple outside crescent, and then the Shuriken Cutter is the double. But if you put them Shuriken Cutter and hurricane, it's shuriken.
Okay, that's why I messed up. I like the hurricane.
Okay.
I don't know why. It just might be the little kid in me, but I just love watching it. It's so cool.
Because you played the video games, huh?
Yeah, that's literally all it is. It reminds me of Ryu just doing that little, like, Hurricane kick just across the screen. You're just like, oh yeah, Street Fighter. Fuck yeah. It's all it reminds me of. I'm just like, oh man, this is so fun to watch. I wish I could do that because it just, all you do is you look like you're just holding your leg out and you're just spinning backwards 3 times and just hoping for the best.
Yeah, it's really sick, and it feels just as cool as it looks, I think. And it's I mean, like I said about the Shuriken, it's easier to get that, the helicopter effect with, the vert one. So it has the good, the good visuals. My number 4 is actually 103. Maybe that should be higher on the list, but the reason it's lower is because I don't like to do it because it's so difficult for me. Like when I did do it once, and it was like the coolest thing ever. But it's it doesn't feel as cool as it looks, in my opinion. Like it feels awesome, but it's like, yeah, like this is like a chain, triple cork's awesome, but it doesn't have like the crazy like variations and sharpness. It's just like raw power.
It's just rip it.
Right. So yeah, it looks awesome. It's the perfect combo ender or just combo by itself. But yeah, I would prefer to see like, like a cool variated sharp trick instead.
Yeah, but I mean a 103, like you're learning how to like stop the momentum. You're learning how to stop your twist, and then just ripping full send a trip. Like there can't be a better feeling.
There can, because the other ones that I have on the list just feel better. We'll see. So what's your number 4?
My number 3, you mean?
Number 3, yeah.
My number 3. Ooh, this is where it starts getting tough. Going back to gymnastics and trying them, double Arabians are just, I love it. Like,
no way.
Ali Raisman at the end, like during her, like kind of like quote unquote famous tumbling pass, like she does double Arabian. She does a long pass and a double Arabian punch front layout, and it is just such a beautiful double Arabian. And watching people do laid out double Arabian, it is such a cool skill to watch. But it would also be, it's a little scary at first because it's a weird way to go and do a double front in a way, because it's still just that initial half turn, then dump over. So I've never wanted to try it laid out, but I can imagine that would just be absolutely terrifying because you do not get to see where you're going, and you just hold your position as tight as humanly possible. And
massive heel drive, and that's it.
Yeah. It's just hopes and prayers that you don't eat it.
And you said that her pass was to punch front out of it. I think that would be gorgeous.
Oh, I know. If I remember correctly, she goes round off 1.5 step out, round off back handspring, double Arabian, punch front layout.
Wow, that's really crazy.
Yes,
that's so crazy.
She fits all of that in one corner pass. That's what she does, and it's just like, oh my god.
Wow, I really want to do that, but I don't.
Especially stepping out of a 1.5. Like I couldn't imagine stepping out of that correctly, because like a back half, it's really easy to just like stop and spot. But adding an extra full twist out of that to then stop and go into a round off out of, like, I don't know how. Oh god, that just sounds too hard for me. Like no,
yeah,
I'd rather just punch out of it.
Yeah, like, because the hardest part is like you want to come out in a square lunge position, but you're like twisting. I feel like my knees would like want to wobble or keep turning even once I landed. Yeah, it's weird. I gotta mess with that. I've only done it like a couple times, but not actually to anything. So not anything real. So I'll mess with that. My number 3, I hate to get repetitive, but it's Hurricane Kick. We didn't talk about our tricks that we like, our list. We didn't talk about our list before we started. So nope. It's funny, Hurricane Kick is my number 3, and purely just because it's a vert one, and the feeling that I get in my quads when I'm doing it is really sick. Like the way you just hold that position is awesome. You can like work on pointing your toes in it. You can even variate this one, so you can do like cheat double 10 instead of triple 10. You can add a round kick, in there wherever you want. You can front swing it, and
Ooh.
obviously when I was starting you said it was the video games for you, but for me it was Hurricane Kick, front swing, Gumby, triple cork from Michael Guthrie. That's when I first saw it. I actually never even saw the Street Fighter one until like kind of recently. So yeah.
Oh my god, Hurricane Kick, front swing, Gumby, triple cork. Oh.
Yeah. And then recently there was kind of like a people were all doing that. People were all trying to, and it ended up being like 3 people, I think. It was like I know it was well, obviously Mike Guthrie, Shosei, and then I think Tiki Wu did it, and then maybe there's a couple more, but it was like it's so hard. Who does that? It's really ridiculous.
I know, especially to control the hurricane just right to be able to go into a Gumby and like not just eat it on your face. Like how?
Yeah.
God.
And like I don't know, to me, like it's tough because I can't do cheat 10s very well. I can barely ever hit it, and when I do hit it, it doesn't look very nice, except when I do it out of Super Monkey Scoot, then I can make it look nice, but that's it. But I can Hurricane Kick like all the time, and I can even vanish Hurricane Kick. So it's like because it gives you a better spot point, the liftoff point is more obvious. There's not like when I twist tight in the 10, I like lean and do funny stuff. And like my pop out point is like much shorter in rotation. So it like has a hard time for my ankle.
Yeah.
So I'm like always on my toes instead of on my heel. But when I do the Hurricane Kick, I can adjust it perfectly, so it's much easier to land. And I think it looks cleaner anyway. So I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
So before we move on to number 2, what is a Super Monkey Scoot? For my reference.
Okay. So you do a spin step like you're gonna do a B twist, right? Okay. But then, this is really weird. I'll have to send you a video so we can put this up on the YouTube so people can see too. So you do a spin step like you're gonna do a B twist. And then when you put your left foot down like you're gonna take off for the B twist, but then you put your left hand down also, and then you do a scoot.
What the hell?
So in the original one, it was invented by Towels, and I believe, and the original one is actually you have to do 2 hands. Otherwise it's not a monkey scoot. So I don't know if it's like I believe the super is like the spin step part, and then the hand placement decides whether it's a monkey scoot or a regular scoot. So personally, I just do super scoot, I think is what you would call it. And so I've done that. I've done super scoot into tack dub and into cheat 10s, and I haven't even tried 12 out of it yet for some reason. And then I was sending that's the move that I was sending cheat 9 snap out of last week. You saw that?
Yes. Oh, that was okay. Now that makes more sense. I was like, wait a second, what the hell is this?
So yeah, and it's really dope to do from hypers too. So like imagine you do like a 540 kick, okay? Ooh. And then you put your left foot down like you're gonna B twist, but then you scoot instead.
Okay, I get you. I see where you're coming from.
Your left foot touches twice in a row because it's you go right, left, hand, left foot again. So it's pretty sick. It feels really cool. Honestly, that move should be on my list. Let me just take off Hurricane Kick and write Super Monkey Scoot.
Super Monkey Scoot instead. I'll just have to remember now. If you do a spin step into something, you add super to the front of it.
Yo, can you do a super B twist? I can super double B, actually.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
All right, so going to number 2, I'm going to come with it's now an illegal gymnastics move. It's called the Thomas.
Oh,
We've talked about this before. It's a back 1.5 front dump over. So it's like a back 1.5 flip. Does that make sense?
So it's like a double Arabian roll, but there's an extra 360 in the first flip.
Yes.
So it's a 540
dive roll.
But with 2 flips. Yes, it's a 540 dive roll to your feet and then roll out.
Yeah, and usually people did it some people did it tucked, and some people did it laid out.
Oh, tucked. And fucked.
Yeah, I know. Let me tell you, even just working double front rollout for a while when I first started trying to do rollout skills, I like landed on my neck wrong and got like whiplash really bad, and I just never tried again because I was like, fuck that. I'm
Yeah.
not doing that. And people that did Thomas, like, oh my god, you have to be absolutely nuts. I mean, it was a really high value skill, but how many people like would break their neck or just or like get really bad whiplash? Because if you slightly screw it up, you're done. Like, there's no way
Yeah.
to save it. You're already going to your head, so you're pretty much just screwed.
Ugh, that's sketch. Yeah, you have to set it right in the first place. I bet it's honestly harder off 2 feet. So, there's a trick in tricking called the bagel bite, and you do a cork semi and then dive out. So same exact thing, just from swing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So you do cork 1.5 dive, and that's called a bagel bite because Bagels Payne did it. So I actually really want to do that trick. I want to do bagel bite. I think he might be the only one who's done it. Maybe some Russian
Well,
has done it.
Russians
That
are,
wouldn't surprise me.
no offense to Russians, but God, they are nuts when it comes to doing stuff because
Oh,
like
that's
they do
not a.
some of the craziest things.
That's exactly what they want to hear. I'm sure.
I mean, God, how many skills that they've even made in just like the code of points for gymnastics lately, at least, and just like in the past, and how just crazy some of the trampoline stuff that I've ever seen on like Instagram, like when they do double back off their hands on a trampoline. I'm just like, how? How do you just like randomly like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna try that?
Right? I feel
Like
like
what?
it. I don't know. They are better than a lot of other. They're very good. They're at the highest level, but I think that they're not much better than the other highest level people. Also, they just don't care if they die. Like, what is that?
It's crazy.
Like
Oh my
the tricks
god.
I see them do, like sometimes I'm like, shit, I could try that, and like I think I could land it too, but I'm not about to.
No.
they're like, I'll be close. They send it. I feel like
My cojones are not that big.
no,
Like they may be big, but not that big.
they're on another level for sure.
God. So what's
My
your your
number
number two
two
skill?
is Dubback.
Oh
So it's
God.
yeah, it's got to be double back because I really like I said, it's basically my version of triple double, which is pretty sad, but it's like, it's the same idea. Is like I really like to do a really smooth round off back handspring, or even just a round off into it, or when I did the TDR Valdez double back. And then last night I did the round off whip double back, and it just feels awesome because it's like the amount of timing that you have and the execution level that you have to do it at is really awesome. It's kind of like playing Russian roulette. So I really like that.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Last night I got shot. If you saw my Instagram video. I did
You
I did the whip double back and I hit my head really hard. So, but that's fine.
God.
That's part of the game. That's what makes it more fun to me, I think. And um yeah, it's like when you land it, it's a bigger reward because it's a harder skill to do, and I don't have a lot of punching skills, and so it just kind of fills that gap in my heart. That it's a really powerful punching skill. I'll get full in soon, but I just feel like double back's just that perfect level of it's really hard, but it's really easy. You just have to do it correctly. So something like full in, I don't. I I can pretty much do. So what I do with double back now, I've been doing it for a couple weeks now, is I just go to the session, I do a round off backflip, and then I do round off double back. So it's like it's so much easier now than it was before, but I like being able to play with all the different setups.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, so it's just a really awesome skill in that aspect. And then same idea as the Shuriken Cutter, I guess, is like it's like more of a power move, but I can still do stuff out of it. Like actually, I didn't even post this yet. Last night I did double back pot flash master scoot Shuriken Cutter. So
What?
yeah, so um yeah. So
God.
I really like that about the double back. It's like you do something out of it, and people are like, "What?"
I know. God, double back is just such a cool feeling.
It's
You
really
feel like
sick.
hot shit the first time you ever do a double back. You're just like, yeah, I just went over my head twice before I touched my feet again.
It feels
Suck
like a different level of yeah. I don't even know what word I'm trying to like. What's that? Transcendence. Like,
Right? You like break that barrier.
I just went beyond. Let's go.
You just went from Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3.
Yes.
That's how it feels. It's so cool.
And then there's Andrew Court, who doesn't even do double backs, but he just went from Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 4, or sorry.
Yeah, I know. He just like throws Snatch Cannon.
Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, like he's just throwing Snatch Cannons like none other now. Like Jesus Christ, out of everything.
It's so sick.
I'm just like, oh, combo, and I'm like, oh, Snatch Cannon.
Oh,
another
yeah,
combo.
okay.
Oh, Snatch Cannon. Okay. Why did he get so comfortable?
He has like really awesome bail points now. So if you watched our last episode, make sure that's what's gonna make you understand this is like I've been training with him and I've been watching him do these snatch cannons, and the biggest thing that's making it possible is that he has all these triggers and all these bail points even in the second flip that allows him to decide how flipped he wants it to be based on safety and height. So that's the thing that's making it happen.
So he knows exactly where he is. That's good.
Right.
That's
it's like he's not in the cork and going, oh, I'm gonna hook it. He's doing the cork. He's starting to back out, and then he decides how upside down am I allowed to be right now. So it's like he's going to do it. Just is he going to do it like perfectly? Or is it going to be like a bailed one, But if it's a bail one, it's a safe bail one. And then he just goes back and does it again and executes it right, So that's really sick.
That's nuts. So going into this last one, the number 1 spot, I kind of have a bit of a tie between like 3 skills. One of them is doing a back 2.5 to double front. And then the other 2 are now I think it's either called the Nikita or the Nagorny, that's a triple pike on floor, and then the triple layout that I've seen during power tumbling.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before, just like, the guts it takes to do the double back, and you're like, oh, am I high enough? Am I going to be able to back out? And then you kind of have like some bail points. Okay, but like triple is so much like what you do the dub and then decide to do one more, or do you do the one and then just do 2 more, or do you fuck the whole thing? Like I just feel like it's so much harder to tell how high you are to really pull it.
And to bail, could you imagine? You can't.
Right? Especially in a pike, I don't know. Because
if you bail at the wrong time, you're pretty much just like, all right, well, I'm gonna break my neck today.
Right? You're flipping so fast. It's like, you're like, okay, now I should bail. And then you've made a rotation. Holy crap.
Like, oh no. That just like terrifies me thinking about it. Just like full sending, you're just like, all right, perfectly fine. And then you spot the floor like a split second before you're supposed to land. You're like, oh, fuck.
Oh, and you're going so fast and so hard. You would get wrecked. Like,
oh yeah,
dude, my ankles in a pike landing short. Holy crap!
No, thank you. No, thank you.
There would be nothing left. Well, so I'm actually really surprised by your number 1. My number 1 is quad full.
Ooh, well, that's because tricking is, no offense, mostly twisting. There's not like not quite technically insane flips like gymnastics because you guys don't work on punch skills as much. Now, when Jose starts doing the stupid stuff, like, then you're going to be like, oh, God, this realm of possibility. It's crazy.
But I don't know how much, I don't know how deep I'm going to go into the double flips. Like, double back is good for me, and I prefer the combos more. So going into, double full in or, full or anything like that is, that would be awesome. But I would rather combo double back than do full.
No, and I get you there.
So I mean that's just where I'm at with it. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I know I'm on board with the tricks you chose for sure. Quad full is my number 1, and same reason that I choose quad full over quint full is no one really did it kind of so far.
Well, but one person did.
Yeah.
And he was a gymnast, although granted it was also a rod floor again, but he landed it square.
Wait, that video that we looked at yesterday?
Yes.
That was a rod floor. I kind of thought that was a tumble track.
No, but That was a
Wow.
rod floor.
Okay, shit.
I mean, did you
That's
see how
insane.
high he went?
Yeah, that's why I thought. That's
I was
why
like,
I
oh my
thought.
god, it was nuts.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's insane.
Quint.
But yeah, I mean, just like my favorite thing about the quad full is just like how their arms are. Oh, they're
Oh, I
so
know.
wide. The angle that they punch at, and then also like I love counting all four twists in slow motion. That's my favorite part about it. Is just being like one, two,
You're like, oh, is he
three,
gonna make it?
four. It's really crazy. I just like watch it, like, because also, especially when you didn't like, they don't show the regular speed one, they just show it in slow motion. So you see the round off and you're like, oh, this is gonna be big. What is this? And then they take off and you're like, oh gosh. And then,
Here it
it's
goes.
so anticlimactic when they just do the biggest triple full ever. And you're like, really? Really?
You're like, oh, okay.
Where's my
Thanks.
quad?
Yeah, thanks, guy. You just let me down.
Yeah, I just like, wow, I hate tricking. Get off my screen.
Get off my screen with that trip. I expect
Yeah,
quads.
especially if they could like, especially if it was like a quad timer, and you're like, oh my gosh, you could quad, or when they do the quad in slow mo, and their feet come around, and then they like trip, or they like a short like a little bit, and they fall over, and you're like, no, what?
No,
But it looked so good the whole time.
no, he wasn't ready. No.
Oh man, I want quad so bad. I don't even know how I'm gonna do that.
Rip it. Rip it.
Yep,
Send it.
just rip it.
That's pretty much what you got to do. You just got to go for like, I got time. just rip it. You're fine.
Yeah. And I do actually like, so I like quad full more than quad cork also, I think. I don't know, because quad cork just looks weird to me. Don't you think?
Really? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
access twisting always looks weird to me coming from a gymnastics aspect. But yeah, I mean, the full, just because it goes more overhead, just it looks so much sharper.
Right.
In my opinion.
That's what I think too. And like the quad corks, it's just like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, I guess it's just the over the head thing. And don't get me wrong, I know it's like the hardest skill in tricking, and it's ridiculous, and it is pretty. Maybe it's just the idea. I think it's the same thing with like the Shuriken and the Shuriken Cutter. Is like, I would kind of prefer the cleanest Shuriken Cutter over like an ugly Shuriken. But
Oh yeah.
if the Shuriken looks pretty, then I would like, even if it's like half as pretty but still pretty, like if it has the right pieces, and I think it's the same thing with the quad cork. It's like, I don't know, like a triple cork versus a quad cork. I would rather have a really stood up triple cork right now
Oh
than a
yeah.
quad cork. Not even me, just like I would like to see, because maybe it's like that we still are just kind of fresh out of the battles too. It's like, the idea of someone doing a really big trick and then just stomping it and just being stood up and being like, yeah, that's what's up, instead of like kind of clutching out a quad, it's really crazy and it's insane. I know, and everyone would freak out for sure, but it's like, I don't
But it's
know.
like two different feelings. Because
It's
like when
too,
you
yeah. I
stop
would
it,
like having
oh
full control, or like, oh yes, I did it.
yeah, it's like when you do a skill for the first time, you're like, oh, I just did that. When you clutch it, and then when you just stomp it with
Yeah, or
absolute authority, you're just like,
yeah, yeah, like
easy.
that's totally what the feeling is too. Like doing it for the first time and you did it sloppy, but you got it done, or doing a really hard skill for like the 1,000th time and knowing that it was literally perfect and it's such a high level skill that nobody can do it. Like it's like you're in the gym, and you're like, oh, nobody in the gym can do this skill, and then you do it and it was like perfect because it was your number 1,000. And you're
Yeah, I
like,
know.
yeah, pretty good.
You're like, I could do better. It's fine.
Right. You're like,
No
okay,
problem.
now the next one. Now I'm gonna go for that skill that I can't land yet. So
It's like starting to touch Shosei's level and then being on Shosei's level.
yeah, I don't
That's what it
know. It's
is.
just like, but it's different for him even, like his like
God.
I can't even name the skills he's doing nowadays. But yeah, just he's the skills he does first try are just the skills that I don't even do.
Oh, I know.
So that's where that's at.
He is another breed. Oh my god.
It's so cool to have him in the tricking, in the tricking life though, and watching him get so good. It's really crazy to have someone like that
No,
to
I
watch.
agree.
It's really insane.
Don't forget to follow our socials at Zidane Cloud on Instagram for me, Sean.
And CHRISPY_TRIX. That's Crispy Tricks on Instagram. And I also have another YouTube channel, Trix Fix, TRIX space FIX, for more tutorials and other things.
And we'll see you guys next time.